Hello there, it's Mr. S for my students, AP Calculus, Period 2. This is your chapter 6.1, okay? So 6.1, let me go back a slide. There is the assignment. I know some of you guys don't have your textbooks. We can talk about that when we get to class, okay? All right, it's gonna be your area under the curve for 6.1, but it actually will lead you into this derivative, this integration sign, okay? The one you see on the side here is called the integration sign or integral. So let me spell that out for you, integral. All right, this is, by the way, it's called finite integration or finite integral because you have the start of A to B. What does that really mean? For now, just try to understand that this is your starting point, like this A is your starting point, up to B. When you're doing the integration, you're finding the area under the curve or between your curve of f of x, whatever the function looks like, you can graph it. So now your area between that curve and the x-axis, okay, from here to here. So this is straight line. From A to B. So depending on where the A is, depending on where the B is, that's what that is. Later, we're gonna learn how to actually do that integration. Right now, we're doing the estimation. Okay, we're estimating. Basically, this came from the rectangular shapes that they fit between A to B. So if you were able to fit infinitely many rectangles in here, you'll get a true shape or true value of the area under the curve. Right now you're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 rectangles. So you're gonna have some access here and some, gaps here. So that's the error. The more rectangles you get, the more precise your answers will be. Okay, you can get to that part. So we'll take a look at some more complicated problems later on. All right, let's get the first rectangle. You guys know how to find area rectangles. Base times height, basically. So the 70 miles an hour, that can be your f of x. That is your function f of x. Okay? So if I was to write this in the integration form, I would go from 0 to 2 miles, and 2 hours, that's 70 dx. Or in this case, it will be dh because this distance here, this axis is the h. And these numbers are in hours, so you go from 0 to 2, okay? So let's not mess with that yet. We'll have time to deal with that later. So right now, if I want to find out how far I've gone in 2 hours, that is just taking 2 hours of driving times 70 miles an hour. That should get you 140 miles total distance. So basically the area under that curve is calculated. It's like the distance traveled of the cars that go 70 miles an hour for 2 hours, okay? Now we'll talk briefly about what the rectangle will do. But right now I got this complicated problems. So if you see a problem like this where your functions are different, you're gonna have to find the location of where they intersect and kind of divide them up into different portions. If you go from here to here, I can get really precise answers for that because that's trapezoid. From here to here, I can also get a very precise answers for that because that's the area of triangle. So if this were a composite function, they would probably throw in this little curve like this, the curly bracket, okay? And they're probably gonna put 2x plus 6 here, which is the line in blue on this side, and then y equals 8. So they just put an 8 down here. So that's y equals 8, this flat line. And the other one is negative 4x plus 28. Now you're gonna have to find your own border from A to B, from B to C, from C to D. All right, so you have to find this spot right here, we'll call it the A, and we'll find the spot, we'll call it the B, and we'll find that spot, we'll call it the C. So basically, you're gonna find what is the height here. This height is easy because that function goes up to 6. I got 6. Okay? Now to find this height, best way to do it is to get your 2x plus 6 equals to 8 first. Y equals to 8 because that's your intersection. So solve this equation. 2x equals 2, subtract 6 from both sides, divide by 2, so your x, or your a in this case, equals to 1. So this location is 1. So how high is that? You plug a 1. I should know it's 8 anyways, right? Because that's how high that height should be. So if you put a 1 in this spot right here, that should be 2 times 1 is 2, 2 plus 6 is 8. So this height is 8. So that makes your length here is 8. For this one here, same story. I'm going to take this slant side, which is my negative 4x plus 28 equals 8. I know that height is 8, but I just need this location here. Why do I need that location? Because I had to figure out what is the distance from 1, we knew it's 1 here, to this spot. Okay, so we'll solve this. So subtract 28. So that's negative 4x equals negative 20. So your x is 5. All right, so 1 and 5. Just keep that in mind. Erase all that. Come on. So I got 1 and 5. Come on. So here's 1. Here's 5. So this gap is 4. This height is 8. So you got your 4 times 8. That area is 32. Here's your 6. Oh no, your 8. I'm sorry. Okay. If you miss anything, go back and rewind, rewatch. This is 6. Okay, because that's the intercept there. So this gap is 1. So now you're going to get your base 1 plus base 2 times height divided by 2. Okay, that's the formula for the trapezoid. So now you have your 6 plus your 8 is 14. 14 times 1 is still 14. 14 divided by 2. This area here is 7. Okay. All right, so you got 32, you got 7. Total would be, I need to find that last one. So this one here is how far is that triangle going down and touch that line. The blue line is touching the red line. That's going to form your triangle. So how long is this triangle length or base? So one more solving. Negative 4x plus 28. This time we'll set it equals 0. So now you got negative 4x equals negative 28. So if you divide that by 4, you should have 7. So this is 2, all right? Base times height divided by 2, so 2 times 8. Okay, base times height divided by 2, that's triangle. So 2 times 8, 8 is 16. Then you got 16 divided by 2 is 8. Now you add all of those. That's your area under this function f of x as your composite function. So it starts from 0 to 7. Basically, that's what that is. So that's going to be 40. Total area is 47. Just add them all up. Okay? All right, I'm going to pause this one. It's almost 10 minutes. I'll see you in the next one.